Banners on the school wall announce that there are only 25 days left until the college entrance exam. They urge students to give it their all, emphasizing that this opportunity only comes once and can change their lives. Our boy Lindsay stares in shock as he realizes he's somehow returned to the time before the college entrance exam. Inside the classroom of Zia Kingdom's Enchengno, Lindsay suddenly screams, startling the class. Gripping his head in frustration, he mentally breaks down, wondering why he was sent back to this stressful period. He laments that if he had to be reincarnated, it should have at least been after college, not before. Since ancient times, humanity has repeatedly faced catastrophe due to secret realm invasions. Monstrous creatures from another dimension cross over through these rifts, wreaking havoc on the human world. These secret realms are portals to alien worlds filled with terrifying monsters. Occasionally, an abundance of rifts appear, enabling large-scale invasions. These powerful beasts threaten the very existence of mankind. To survive, humanity developed the beast gene system. By injecting special genes from these creatures, humans can awaken monster-like traits and powers. Those who succeed become elite warriors capable of defending civilization. As a result, warriors who awakened beast genes earned immense respect and a higher status. Their rare abilities made them far more valuable than ordinary people, leading to privileged treatment and recognition across society. The world known as Blue Star has entered a new era, one where martial strength decides everything. A mysterious system completes the traversal process and selects a new host, Lin Z. His consciousness is implanted with memories as the system prepares him for this new world of martial dominance. Lin Z regains consciousness in class. He realizes he's now in the body of a high school student. In the classroom, his classmates mock him cruelly. They laugh at his condition, calling him trash and doubting his ability to even attempt the college entrance exam. A girl arrogantly mocks Lin Z, telling him to drop out of school and accept a worthless future as a low-class worker. Lin Z reflects that it's typical for a bullied protagonist to be tormented by an aggressive female character like her. He realizes the body he now occupies had a bad reputation in class. As he digs into the memories, Lin Z discovers the original owner of this body fell behind in studies after his parents had an accident. This tragedy made him lose focus, and his grades dropped, affecting the class average. That's why he was treated so poorly by everyone. He mentally complains about inheriting such a miserable life. While the previous owner was the one who slacked off, he's now the one suffering the consequences, bullied and humiliated in front of everyone. The teacher announces that it's time to inject the genetic modification serum and urges the students to be confident. He reminds them that their past 3 years of training and physical conditioning were all for this moment. He warns those who didn't take their preparation seriously that they'll face the consequences now. Lin Z convinces himself there's no need to panic. After all, he wasn't the one who wasted time. Since he's inherited this life, he vows to take responsibility, fix the damage left behind, and do everything right from now on. At Anchengno, one high school's gene injection hall, a genetic injection conference is underway. Excited students chat eagerly about what kind of beast gene they might awaken, joking and speculating about powerful creatures like mountain splitters and dragons. A machine releases a cold mist as the storage chamber opens, revealing sealed vials. The vials contain primal genes from magical beasts recorded by human warriors. Each student will receive one and inject it to awaken a random beast gene. The stronger their physique, the stronger the gene they're likely to awaken. The teacher reassures the students not to panic when the serum takes effect. As the names are called, students begin stepping forward to receive their serum and unlock their potential power. Names are called one by one, and students begin receiving their genetic serum injections. Screams erupt as students undergo painful transformations. Lin Z watches nervously, noticing how everyone reacts unpredictably. He realizes this process won't be easy. Despite the fear, Lin Z braces himself and injects the serum. Determined, he tells himself there's no turning back now. A surge of energy rushes through his body. His eyes widen in shock as the power begins to awaken within him. After the injection, the teacher notes his lack of reaction, and Lin Z awkwardly jokes that maybe his dose was fake. Mockery follows instantly. The girl ridicules him in front of everyone, claiming he didn't awaken anything. She compares him to a warrior without wings, saying he's better off waiting to die than pretending to be a fighter. Lindsay recognizes her as the main bully in his new life. Suddenly, a strange surge flows through him. His system activates and reveals his stats. He has acquired the rare Infinite Monster template. Though his physique ranks as E, his martial skills now include multiple foundational techniques and an extracted monster template. His classmate confronts him, accusing him of faking an awakening. She mocks him again, unaware of the power now surging inside him. Lindsay tells them calmly to leave. Lindsay warns them that if they don't leave now, it'll be too late. A massive surge of energy erupts from Lindsay. The overwhelming force knocks the girl back. The sheer force causes some students to collapse and others to vomit from the pressure. Panic spreads as they wonder who could have awakened with such terrifying strength. A girl with glowing purple eyes recognizes that someone extraordinary has just awakened. Another student surrounded by floating crystals questions in disbelief, could someone here actually be stronger than him? Lindsay's system reveals his template, an rank monster template Mad Flame Demola. He now possesses terrifying bloodline abilities like Scorching Breath and Molten Pulse. Though compatibility is only at 3%, the potential is immense. Lindsay is shocked he didn't just awaken, he surpassed expectations entirely. Lindsay looks at his glowing hands. He wonders if this overwhelming power is the golden finger his system granted him the key to his transformation. His classmates stare in disbelief. They realize the one they mocked as a loser just unleashed an aura strong enough to knock everyone down in an instant. Even Wang Xing, who had awakened a second-tier magic beast, lies defeated. She can't believe what kind of template he might have awakened. Lindsay casually apologizes with a smug smile, saying he warned everyone to step back. But since they ignored him, the blast of power from his awakening couldn't be helped. An announcement rings out over the speakers, instructing all awakened third-year students to proceed to the testing building. They are to assess their magical beast genes and martial arts levels. Inside the testing facility, gene breakthrough detection pods await. These advanced machines can scan a subject's awakened gene and measure their martial level accurately. A student named Li Xinyuan is tested and shown to have awakened the third-tier magical beast bloodline, Swift Spine Bug. Though previously average, he now ranks among the top thanks to this strong bloodline. Chuju's results appear next. Already known as the grade's top student, he's confirmed as a level 9 martial apprentice and has awakened the Ice Demon Dragon, a top-tier bloodline. Students begin to believe he will become the champion of Anchang City. Students observe as Miss Lu, a top student and level 9 martial apprentice, awakens a rare stage 4 beast template Nether Sparrow. It's so powerful that if it appeared in its true form, it could devastate an entire city. Only grandmasters could resist it. Meanwhile, Lindsay reflects on the situation. Other students are awakening stage 3 or 4 templates, yet his is labeled a class, which seems even more advanced. He's puzzled why is his classification different. The announcement calls for Lindsay from Class 7. Nervously, he questions whether things are escalating too quickly for him. As Lindsay steps forward, everyone in the crowd stares with admiration and awe. Some whisper about building connections with him, while others are amazed by his presence. Lindsay realizes that in this world, martial power determines everything. Lindsay steps into the testing pod as his classmates watch in anticipation. Excited murmurs spread. Students speculate that his aura must mean he has a rare and powerful bloodline. Even the top student starts paying attention, eager to see the outcome. The results appear on screen. Lindsay is only a stage 3 martial disciple, and his beast bloodline is marked as unknown. The rest of his data is hidden, confusing everyone. The crowd bursts into laughter. They mock Lindsay, calling him a fraud and a loser again. His dramatic aura is dismissed as empty hype, and they ridicule him for having no real strength or recognized bloodline. The system failed to detect his template, but he had expected that. However, a hidden prompt appears, revealing the potential of the Infinite Monster template. Though not publicly visible, the system informs him that he can upgrade it by completing quests or raising his reputation, and even unlock more templates through progression. Lindsay's expression shifts with excitement. If he can keep fulfilling the conditions, he can continually draw powerful monster templates without limit. Back at Ancheng High School, Lin Zi approaches a teacher with a bold request to take a break from school and study from home. But the teacher, sipping his drink unimpressed, questions whether Lin Zi can truly be trusted to study seriously. He pleads with his teacher, expressing his sincere desire to improve. He admits he's fallen behind and believes that following the regular pace won't help him catch up. He needs special training. The teacher acknowledges Lin Zi's awakening, but points out that his foundation is too weak to pass the college entrance exam. The only path to becoming a warrior, he insists, is still through college. Lin Zi passionately insists that he's serious. He believes his awakened bloodline gives him the potential to succeed if he works hard enough. The teacher reluctantly agrees to let him try, though he warns Lin Zi will likely be repeating the year. Lin Zi then sets off to the Ancheng Warrior Center, fully committed to training and defying expectations. He is carrying a bag and a plan. After mortgaging his parents' house and receiving their accident compensation, he now has a solid amount of startup capital. With it, he knows he must act fast to grow stronger. He considers his two options: level up as a warrior or increase the compatibility with Temora's template. The Infinite Monster template starts with only 1% compatibility, yet Temora has 3%. That raises a crucial question: how did Temora gain 2 extra points? He identifies the answer. The Temora template absorbed Genetic Awakening Serum, which boosted its compatibility by 2%. That's the key. Realizing that money can accelerate his strength, Lin Zi grins confidently. He decides to use his funds to buy more Gene Awakening Serum. His shortcut to power lies in investing wisely. Lin Zi checks in using his student ID. As he enters, his senses heighten. Thanks to the Mad Flame Demora template, Lin Zi has gained a special ability: Life Magnetic Field. This lets him detect life signals released by creatures around him. He can feel warriors and monsters alike, their Kai and blood pulsing with energy. Demora's instincts awaken inside him. Known as the King of Beasts, it was born to dominate all life. Lin Zi can feel its overwhelming desire to fight stirring within him. Despite his current limitations as a rookie, he grins with excitement. He vows to grow stronger and one day reveal to the world what it truly means to carry the bloodline of the King of Beasts. Lin Zi is startled as someone suddenly taps his shoulder from behind. A confident woman playfully scolds him for peeking too casually at others. Embarrassed, he apologizes. She brushes it off, guessing he recently awakened his monster gene. She reassures him it's normal to lose control early on, then asks what brought him to the Warrior Center. Lin Zi explains he's looking to buy genetic medicine, but is lost. He asks for directions. The woman already using gene medicine at this stage. She warns him that while gene medicine is useful, it's expensive and can build resistance over time, reducing its effectiveness. Lin Zi now realizes there's more to strength than just buying enhancements. The woman advises Lin Zi that to get the best results, warriors usually wait until their bloodline reaches a bottleneck before using gene potions. She explains that at his current stage, a basic solid-type potion would cost around 400,000. Lin Zi is shocked. Even if he spent all his money, he couldn't afford 5 potions. He nervously asks if there's any way to get a discount. Smiling, the woman offers him her business card, revealing she's a 4th-rank martial artist named Huang He-Lai. She tells him a referral from a veteran like her will get him a discount. Grateful, Lin Zi thanks her and waves goodbye. She responds playfully, telling him they might cross paths again if fate allows. He's fully committed to powering up. At the hospital, he spends a huge sum of $1.45 million. He continues with more insane purchases, powerful weapons and resources, pushing his finances to the limit. Back in his room, screams echo through the night as the effects of the enhancement surge through his body. The pain is immense, but he endures it all. The results are dramatic. Lin Zi's Mad Flame Demora template compatibility rises from 3% to 7%, and his overall stats jump from 8 to 10. With equipment, he now reaches armed rank 7. His gamble and sacrifice are starting to pay off. He feels the rush of leveling up. The gene potions have noticeably enhanced his physique, but by the 5th one, the effects begin to taper off. It's becoming harder for his body to mutate further through basic means. He's satisfied his base stats alone now rival what others achieve in 3 years. This realization fires him up even more. He sets a new goal: to top the entrance exam and crush the so-called top scorers. The secret realm looms ahead. Ranked from E to S+, it contains creatures far beyond human control. Beasts in the S-class could bring disaster if unleashed into the world. Lin Zi enters the E-level secret realm. The place is deserted, likely picked clean by others long ago. Only weak beasts remain, suitable only for rookie training. Still, he walks forward knowing even scraps can be sharpened into power. He arrives at the registration counter and calmly requests access to Secret Realm No. 3. The staff responds nonchalantly, handing over the entry ticket after he signs the death waiver standard procedure for those daring enough to enter. Standing before the massive glowing rift, Lin Zi stares in awe. With a confident grin, Lin Zi declares to himself that this marks the start of his rise to become the king of beasts. Without hesitation, Lin Zi launches into the rift, diving headfirst into the unknown, determined to leave his mark in the world beyond. He plummets through the rift, surrounded by dazzling energy currents as he's pulled into the mysterious secret realm. He lands gracefully, steadying himself on the surface. The sky stretches endlessly above him, stars glowing brightly. He recognizes the celestial bodies from his studies: Kanglin Star, Anwei Star, and Taijin Star. But seeing them in person is a whole new experience. As he admires the night sky, a red beast silently watches from the shadows, its presence unnoticed. A red creature charges forward, identified as a first-rank beast, the Bladefang Rabbit. Lin Zi stands calmly with a smug grin as the beast lunges. With a quick movement, Lin Zi grabs the rabbit mid-air, eyes glowing coldly. He mocks it, revealing he sensed it coming thanks to his template ability, Life Magnetic Field. A brutal silhouette shows Lin Zi slicing the beast cleanly. He examines the magic core he harvested from the Bladefang Rabbit. It's white and worth about 1,000 yuan. He reflects that he made more in minutes than ordinary people earn in a month, but knows this strategy has its limits. Determined to move up, Lin Zi decides to hunt second-rank beasts instead. Just then, a massive threat appears in front of him. A towering, grotesque creature looms over Lin Zi. It's a second-rank beast, the demon corpse bug. Lin Zi smirks confidently, drawing his blade and saying, "Speak of the devil." Without hesitation, he charges forward and slashes at demon corpse bug. Recalling information from the monster encyclopedia, Lin Zi targets the bug's weak spot. He knows the hard shell on its back is nearly impenetrable, but the soft armor on its abdomen is a vulnerable point he can exploit. Lin Zi channels energy into his fists and activates his martial arts technique. He launches a devastating hyper beam attack straight at the second-rank beast, the demon corpse bug. Just as Lin Zi attacks, the creature retaliates. From its mandibles, it unexpectedly fires spinning, razor projectiles infused with dark energy. Lin Zi's eyes widen in surprise as he realizes the bug can launch long-range attacks. Lin Zi gets struck by the bug's spinning projectiles and is violently knocked back. As he struggles to stay on his feet, Lin Zi grits his teeth in frustration. He curses the damage to his clothes, frustrated by how costly the outfit was, not just in price, but in pride. He assesses the situation calmly. At his current martial artist level, he can't overpower the demon corpse bug through sheer force. Without a powerful martial technique or a strong body filled with vitality, he's barely able to draw out even half of his strength. Determined, Lin Zi activates his ultimate trump card, Mad Demon, Emperor Demon's Bloodline. Energy surges through his body as he awakens a terrifying power hidden deep within. With the Emperor Demon's Bloodline fully activated, Lin Zi's body becomes engulfed in crackling blue lightning. His power level surges from 15 to 21, unleashing a transformation that pushes his strength to new heights. Now empowered, Lin Zi charges at the demon corpse bug. The attack lands. Lin Zi's strike slices through the bug's mouth just as it tries to retaliate with its mandibles. Green blood sprays out violently as Lin Zi drives his empowered fist deep into the bug's body, sending it crashing to the ground. Lin Zi stands over the corpse of the defeated demon corpse bug, surrounded by pools of green blood. His transformation boosted his physical stats by 21 points, giving him the edge to completely overpower the Tier 2 beast. Even after reverting to normal, the leftover energy keeps his body burning like a furnace. he notices his short sword lying on the ground, melted and corroded by the bug's venom. Furious, he realizes the expensive $250,000 weapon wasn't durable enough for a Tier 2 monster. He grumbles about the poor quality and mentally gives it a terrible review. As the adrenaline fades, hunger hits him hard. The intense energy used during his first monster hunt drained him completely. Unfortunately, he forgot to bring any food. Just as he starts feeling faint from starvation, a mouth-watering aroma hits his nose. His eyes widen, and he instinctively follows the delicious scent, wondering what could smell so good out here. Lindsay discovers a glowing green crystal inside the corpse of the demon bug. It's a rare magic core, and not just any kind, but a green-grade core, which is highly valuable. To his surprise, it even gives off a delicious aroma. Without hesitation, he lifts the core and swallows it whole. A quiet moment follows as the core slides down his throat. Suddenly, the core dissolves mid-air inside him, breaking into fragments of radiant green energy. After swallowing the green-grade magic core, Lindsay feels a surge of energy. His compatibility with the Mad Demola, Emperor Demon Monster template increases from 7% to 7.3%. Excited, Lindsay compares the results to his past efforts. Despite spending hundreds of thousands on genetic potions, they barely improved his compatibility by 1%. Yet this single core boosted it by 0.3%, a massive gain in comparison. He tears up in frustration, realizing how much money he wasted on pay-to-win methods. This free gain from a monster's core was more effective than all his past investments. Wiping his tears, Lindsay turns his disappointment into motivation. Energized and determined, he declares that tonight, he will continue hunting without holding back. Lindsay activates his life field ability, sending out a powerful energy ripple across the terrain. His connection to the Mad Demola, Emperor Demon template deepens. Now with 9% compatibility and an overall physique stat of 15.9, Lindsay reflects on his progress. He realizes consuming more white magic cores won't help anymore, so he decides to sell the extras for profit. He arrives at a collection office and reports his haul: 20 white magic cores and 1 green core. The clerk is shocked that a mere high school student managed to gather so many in such a short time. Due to government rules, he has to submit 5 white cores for 1 green core. Even after the deduction, Lindsay walks away with a smile, now holding 200,000 Xia Kingdom credits, a huge reward for his efforts. In the Ansheng 4D class Secret Realm, this area requires higher qualifications to enter, and the environment is far more dangerous than previous zones. A team of martial artists gathers at the site. They plan to collect the elusive Blood Jade Flower during this mission. However, one member mentions they still need 5 people to meet the entry requirements. Captain Lin, a Tier 2 martial artist, reassures the group that he's already contacted an agency to supply them with a new martial artist to complete the team. Lindsay, now going by the alias Dadskla, cheerfully introduces himself. Despite his confident act, he internally complains about the steep 100,000 credit cost he paid to forge his ID and sneak into the D-class realm. As a student, it was his only way in. One of the team members questions Lindsay's fake codename, Dadsla, saying it sounds odd. Lindsay awkwardly explains he couldn't use the original name due to copyright issues, brushing it off as a minor detail. Captain Lin tells Lindsay to stay out of the way during the mission since his current martial disciple level isn't up to D-class standards. Lindsay agrees, mentally appreciating the team's clear structure. It's better than being blamed mid-mission. The team drives into the D-class secret realm, speeding through the blue portal. Their target is clear, the Blood Jade Flower. As they travel across the barren terrain, their tracker signals the flower's location up ahead. However, it's guarded by a powerful Tier 2 monster with general-level bloodline. Lindsay observes how drastically different it is from their last mission in a rainforest. He realizes the secret realms aren't bound to a single environment, they span multiple worlds. Suddenly, danger strikes. One of the team members alerts the captain that Earth demon rats have picked up their trail and are in pursuit. The captain wastes no time. With a sharp command, he orders one of his men, Hood, to eliminate the incoming threat. Hood immediately responds. Without hesitation, he activates a weaponized turret on the vehicle, ready to tear through the oncoming Earth demon rats with precise, deadly force. Hood launches a barrage of deadly darts, each striking the Earth Demon rats with precision. Blood splatters as the monsters are shredded mid-charge. The remaining rats explode in fiery blasts, wiped out before they can even get close. Calmly, Hood announces the threat has been eliminated. Lindsay silently notes how terrifyingly effective the man is infusing martial energy into his darts, turning each one into a deadly bomb. The group disembarks and proceeds on foot toward the oasis. Lindsay wonders why they aren't using the vehicle since the destination is still a distance away. The captain explains that the monsters in the oasis are extremely sensitive to noise. Using the vehicle would alert them, so they need to approach silently while distributing roles as they move. Tactics are assigned. Xiaozia is to throw a stun grenade to draw out the monster. Xiao Wu and Hood will set up traps, while Old Blue provides suppressive fire. The captain himself will take the front line. He looks at Lin Zi and casually instructs him to just watch and stay out of the way. Lin Zestel, going by Dadsla, agrees without protest, keeping up his act as a weak student with a carefree attitude. A flare shoots high into the sky, detonating in a blinding explosion. The explosion releases high-level monster pheromones, designed to make nearby beasts believe their territory is under attack. The bait works perfectly. A massive creature bursts from the ground, the Tier 2 monster, Earth Dragon. One of the teammates shouts a warning to Lin Zi, urging him to stay alert as the true battle begins. Suddenly, a bald man with a wicked grin and glowing eye steps forward, licking his blade. Captain Lin delivers a powerful blow, landing a decisive strike to the Earth Dragon's head. The giant creature crashes to the ground, blood pouring from its wounds. Captain Lin sheaths his weapon and signals the team to keep moving. The mission isn't over yet, they must press forward to retrieve the Blood Jade Flower. Just as Captain Lin prepares to move on, a massive clawed creature lunges at him from behind. Suddenly, Lin Zi leaps into action. With a flash of energy around his hand, he charges at the creature from above. He unleashes a powerful energy-infused attack, crashing down from the sky. The impact is explosive, sending a shockwave through the battlefield and burying the monster under a blinding light. The team watches in shock and admiration. Despite being just a martial novice, Lin Zi managed to land a strike powerful enough to shake a Tier 2 beast. His strength leaves everyone stunned. The team gathers around him, congratulating him for helping to kill a magical beast of that level. Lin Zi plays it off humbly, simply thanking them and being welcomed as a true companion from now on. Someone presents the Earth Dragon's soul essence, an extremely valuable item. They celebrate the successful harvest from this mission. Lin Zi is curious about the glowing red object. One teammate jokes that it looks like a giant fruit, but the captain explains it's incredibly useful. It can significantly boost a martial artist's template compatibility. Captain Lin reflects on the mission relieved. Despite how close it was, they successfully defeated the Earth Dragon and located the rare Blood Jade item. Just as he lets his guard down, Hood sneaks up behind him. Captain Lin gasps as a sharp blade pierces through his side. He's been ambushed. The team is shocked. One of them yells in panic, while others react in horror. To their disbelief, Hood one of their own turns and sprints away after stabbing the captain. One of them points out Hood's betrayal was clearly for profit. He's trying to strike it rich by siding with someone dangerous. Suddenly, one teammate recognizes him immediately. It's Huo Peng, a known criminal. Lin Zi asks who the bald guy is, and the others explain. Huo Peng is notorious for ambushing martial artists in dungeons and stealing their loot. He's now targeting their group. Captain Lin, gravely injured, reveals that even his own teammate only discovered the Blood Jade Flower's location after entering the dungeon. Yet Huo Peng somehow already knew, confirming the betrayal and the threat he now poses. Lin Zi realizes the truth. Hood had embedded the Blood Jade Flower's coordinates into one of his darts. That's how Huo Peng tracked them down. Hood smirks, admitting Lin Zi is clever. But he mockingly tells him to give up, saying he should go back to school instead of risking his life in a dungeon. Lin Zi glares back and confidently states the entrance exam is coming, and he'll be the top scorer. Hood, enraged by Lin Zi's calm defiance, charges at him. Lin Zi glares intensely at the enemy, calling out his arrogance and mocking his bald appearance. Charging up energy in his hands, Lin Zi declares it's time to take out the trash. Huo Peng smirks. He finds Lin Zi amusing but doesn't take him seriously. Then, he orders Hood to kill him. Hood immediately obeys, leaping into the air with blades glowing. Lin Zi's body flares with power as he charges forward. Flames swirl around him like a vortex. Suddenly, Hood vanishes into the ground. A teammate shouts a warning he's no longer in sight. Hood strikes from above, leaping down at Lin Zi with a deadly attack, martial technique, Mountain Splitter. Instead of panicking, Lin Zi calmly forms a hand sign, energy crackling around him. He smiles, ready to counter, perfect chance to try out my new skill. Lin Zi unleashes a devastating energy strike, blasting Hoodie with overwhelming force. Captain Lin and another teammate stare in disbelief. They can't believe Lin Zi, supposedly a martial novice, just one-shotted Hood with a single move. Lin Zi casually puts a finger to his lips, while Hoodie lies unconscious in the background. Shocked by the power of Lin Zi's technique, he demands to know what great family he belongs to, convinced no ordinary student could possess such strength. Lin Zi casually introduces himself as a member of the Demonia clan, taunting his opponent for trying to probe his identity. Huo Peng scoffs at Lin Zi's confidence, insisting that even Jin techniques can't overcome the vast difference in their martial levels. With a roar, Huo Peng activates his bloodline power Tyrant Terror Black Bear, transforming into a colossal beast brimming with rage and raw power. Towering above Lin Zi, the mutated bear form prepares a devastating attack, martial technique, Peak Shaker. Lin Zi charges in low, targeting his opponent's legs. His energy blade slices clean through, causing the massive beast to howl in pain, his leg wounded and his stance broken. The Tyrant Terror Black Bear roars in rage, slamming his fists down with tremendous force. Lin Zi tries to stay close, dodging within a narrow gap to minimize impact. Lin Zi analyzes the situation mid-air. He realizes martial artists at this level are absurdly durable. Even his strongest breath attacks might not be enough to break their bones without precision. The Tyrant Terror Black Bear slams the ground in rage, unleashing shockwaves in every direction as the battlefield trembles under his raw strength. As the shockwave fades, he rockets toward his opponent, declaring that now it's his turn to strike. He activates his technique Core Fused Rush, Mountain Crusher, and throws a devastating energy-charged punch with explosive force. The blow lands clean, energy erupts upward in a blinding column as Lin Zi's attack overwhelms the enemy. Lin Zi, standing tall, the Tyrant Terror Black Bear, lies crushed in the dirt, defeated and unable to move. The watching team stares in disbelief. They whisper in awe, realizing that Lin Zi's strength far exceeds what any martial novice should be capable of. Huo Peng, battered, accuses Lin Zi of using a forbidden gene technique, one that weaponizes toxic gas. He curses Lin Zi, calling him wicked and saying such power must be punished. But Lin Zi's glowing fist says it all, at the central sports stadium of An City, where the atmosphere is buzzing with excitement, marking the grand start of the General Higher Martial Arts School entrance exam. The host enthusiastically wishes all participants good luck as the competition is about to begin. The entrance exam follows a competitive elimination format. Students are paired and must duel each other. The winners from each round will continue advancing to the next stage. The crowd roars as the announcer passionately hypes up the event. To move forward, each student must win 3 matches in the audition phase. Those who succeed will continue battling until a single top scorer emerges, who will be crowned the best of this year's martial arts examination. The announcer reminds the participants of the gravity of the exam. They represent the hope and future of humanity. He encourages them to show their true potential, not just for personal success, but to honor humanity's future as a whole. In Arena Number 1, a fierce exchange unfolds as 2 contestants clash with glowing energy. Arena Number 4 is just as heated, with 2 fighters unleashing spiritual techniques mid-combat. However, Arena Number 6 faces an unexpected delay. Only one participant, Huang Tongtong, has arrived. Her opponent Lin Zi from An City Number 1 Middle School is still missing. The announcer checks the match status and explains that if he fails to show up before the competition officially starts, he'll automatically be disqualified and forfeit the match, giving Huang Tongtong a default win. Huang Tongtong stands confidently, still bitter about her past humiliation at the talent conference. She had hoped to get revenge on Lin Zi during this match. Spectators in the crowd mock Lin Zi for his absence. Some believe he's too afraid to appear, while others insult him as a coward unworthy of attending a top martial arts high school. As the timer runs out, the referee announces that Lin Zi from An City No. 1 Middle School has forfeited the match due to no show, officially marking his withdrawal from the competition. Just as everyone assumes Lin Zi is gone, a powerful surge of energy suddenly fills the stadium. A mysterious blue light streaks through the sky, drawing everyone's attention. Lin Zi crashes downward, cloaked in blazing blue flames. Spectators are left speechless, questioning what kind of energy could grant someone the power to fly through the air like that. Huang Tongtong instinctively braces herself against the overwhelming force. Caught off guard, she struggles to understand what's happening. With precision power, Lin Zi launches a devastating kick, striking Huang Tongtong directly and sending her flying across the stage. Lin Zi admits the timing was close any later, and he would have missed the competition entirely. Huang Tongtong lies defeated, groaning in pain. The crowd is left stunned as the final announcement echoes Lin Zi has won the match. The crowd erupts in excitement, praising Lin Zi for his incredible strength. With just one kick, he took down his opponent. Spectators are amazed by his entrance and compare his strike to a legendary move from the heavens. Internally, Lin Zi reflects on the boost he received from the blood jade fruit, a gift from Captain Lin. Although the fruit took time to strengthen his body, it clearly paid off. As the tournament bracket updates, Lin Zi advances to the next round after defeating Huang Tongtong. His next opponent is Long Tao from An City No. 4 Middle School. The battle between Lin Zi and Long Tao begins. With a swift and powerful attack, Lin Zi overpowers his opponent again. The victory is quick and decisive. Lin Zi wins. Lin Zi continues his dominating streak in the arena. With another powerful kick, he knocks out Long Tao from An City No. 3 Middle School, securing another victory. The audience goes wild. They cheer his unmatched strength and nickname him the One-Kick Superman for ending every battle with a single, decisive blow. With 3 consecutive wins under his belt, Lin Zi officially advances to the third round of the tournament, representing An City No. 1 Middle School. Recruiters from top universities try to get his attention, and fans eagerly ask him to connect with them even on WeChat. Lin Zi is suddenly surrounded by eager university scouts and admirers. They praise his strength and offer scholarships, encouraging him to join their institutions. Everyone wants to know, does he already have a favorite university? As the crowd presses in, Lin Zi pauses to think. With a confident look, he gives a thumbs up and clearly states his goal. He wants to enter Huadu University. The announcement stuns everyone. Some scoff, calling him arrogant, while others mockingly remind him to reach out when he fails. Lin Zi notices the doubt in their reactions. He understands their skepticism. Huadu is the most prestigious martial arts university in Xia country and revered by martial artists across the world. Lin Zi knows that in a second-tier city like An City, only the most elite have a chance to enter Huadu University. But he's determined. He brushes off the doubts, declaring that strength speaks louder than anything, and he'll prove it by taking first place. Officials arrive to re-evaluate Lin Zi's martial arts level due to his explosive growth. Their suspicion stems from his incredible jump in power over just 3 months. They accuse him of cheating, shocked that someone who was only at the 3rd level recently is now at the 9th. Lin Zi doesn't back down. He explains that his power came from constant training in the secret realm, not deception. Lin Zi reveals his deeper motivation. Before his father passed away, he left a message. To surpass humanity, you must become more than human. Through dangerous battles in the secret realm, Lin Zi broke through his own genetic limits to evolve far beyond expectations. The officials are stunned. The moment Lin Zi reveals that he broke through his genetic lock, their expressions turn from skeptical to shocked. Panicked, they rush off to report the situation. Meanwhile, Lin Zi realizes he's now a subject of serious attention, whether for research or surveillance. He's become an important target. Elsewhere, live streams begin covering the event in full swing. Interviews with the families of contestants flood the internet, adding pressure and hype to the already intense competition. Lin Zi watches quietly as people everywhere cheer on their children. With all eyes now on him online and in the field, the stakes have never felt higher. Despite the excitement around the arena, he feels a deep loneliness. There's no one in the crowd cheering for him. Unbeknownst to him, the teacher watches nervously through a screen, cheering him on from afar. The first match of the promotion round begins. Representing An City No. 1 Middle School, Lin Zi steps into the spotlight. His opponent is Luo Xuan from An City No. 3 Middle School, an 8th-level martial artist with a rare magical beast bloodline and warrior parents. The crowd assumes Lin Zi is at a major disadvantage. Standing confidently in the arena, Lin Zi offers his opponent the first move. Luo Xuan smirks arrogantly, mocking Lin Zi's ignorance of who he's up against. He confidently declares that no matter what Lin Zi believes, the result is already decided. He will win. Unleashing a surge of power, Luo Xuan activates his bloodline awakening. With a burst of lightning, Luo Xuan charges forward using his ultimate move martial art, dashing lightning claw aimed directly at Lin Zi's chest with deadly precision. As Luo Xuan's lightning-infused claw races toward him, Lin Zi stands unfazed. His grip locks onto Luo Xuan's monstrous hand with ease. Lin Zi calmly points out that while the move had power, it pales in comparison to real combat pressure. Luo Xuan screams in pain as his hand is crushed. In one fluid motion, Lin Zi lifts his opponent effortlessly. He slams Luo Xuan into the arena floor, shattering the ground beneath them. Standing tall, Lin Zi scoffs at the lack of challenge. As the announcer confirms his victory for An City No. 1 Middle School, he questions whether any opponent can truly test his strength. Luo Xuan lies unconscious on the ground after a devastating blow. Once considered a top seed, he was defeated in an instant, leaving the crowd stunned by how easily Lin Zi overwhelmed him. Spectators are in awe of Lin Zi's calm demeanor. His power is clearly on another level, far beyond the other examinees. Cheers erupt throughout the stadium. Fans praise Lin Zi's dominance, calling him the one-kick man, even though he used his hands this time. Many are convinced he'll reach the finals without a doubt. As Luo Xuan is carried away on a stretcher, a mysterious man watches silently. Elsewhere, a student watches Lin Zi's performance with interest. Smirking confidently, he declares that he's set his sights on Lin Zi and vows to defeat him in the final round. At Huadu University's admissions office, staff are actively monitoring the matches. One official demands a full report on Lin Zi's background within 30 minutes, signaling growing interest in him from top institutions. In a different arena, the second group's advancement matches are underway. Kai Xiaoling, known as the Queen of Anchang's second senior high. She openly mocks a fellow student for her cold demeanor. Liu Qingzhu, famously known as the unattainable flower of Anchang First Senior High, steps into the arena with elegance and poise. As the match begins, the audience can't help but gawk at the beauty before them. The referee, annoyed by the spectators' inappropriate reactions, blows the whistle and starts the battle. Kai Xiaoling charges in arrogantly, underestimating her and promising to quickly put her in her place. She activates her martial art, Sutra Splendor. Liu Qingzhu unleashes a graceful yet powerful strike. Her swirling energy clashes against Kai Xiaoling. Liu counters and knocks Kai backward. The audience watches in shock as the so-called queen is launched into the air by a seamless combination. Frustrated, Kai gathers her energy and retaliates using her martial skill Howling Gale Step, a fierce, flaming technique meant to break through any defense. But Liu calmly absorbs the blow and counters. Kai's eyes widen. What she thought was an opening was actually a trap. Too late to react, she realizes she's been completely outplayed. Kai Xiaoling panics as her hand becomes trapped within Liu Qingzhu's swirling air currents. No matter how hard she tries, she can't break free from the immobilizing vortex. Liu calmly prepares her finishing move, Xuanzhuang martial skill, Primordial Chaos Finger. A glowing surge of energy gathers at her fingertip as she strikes. The commentator is stunned. A college entrance candidate using such a high-level technique is almost unheard of. He exclaims that with this skill alone, Liu could bypass the exams and be admitted straight to Huadu University. But Kai refuses to go down quietly. With a furious roar, she awakens her bloodline power, Tiger King. Kai Xiaoling unleashes the full force of her awakened bloodline, Shadowlight Tiger. She possesses a royal bloodline that's notoriously difficult to control. Eyes burning with frenzy, Kai steps forward with a wicked grin, demanding Liu Qingzhu reveal her own hidden strength, the Netherphonics bloodline? Without raising her voice, she quietly responds, "This is enough." Kai, now overwhelmed by her own power, screams in disbelief. She refuses to accept that someone beneath martial artist level dares challenge her in her awakened state. Liu Qingju and Kai Xiaoling intensifies as both unleash their strongest moves. Liu activates the Liu family secret art. She follows up with Transient Splendor, Phantom, a fluid movement technique that confuses Kai's senses while striking from multiple angles. Kai counters with her brutal martial skill, Fierce Tiger's crippling kick, aiming to break through Liu's technique with raw, explosive force. But Liu stays composed. Her eyes glow with resolve as she prepares her finishing move, Primordial Chaos Jade Finger, the ultimate strike that channels all her spiritual power into one concentrated point. Liu Qingju and Kai Xiaoling unleash their ultimate attacks simultaneously. The impact generates a massive shockwave, engulfing the battlefield in a dense cloud of smoke and light. Spectators lean forward in suspense, wondering who managed to endure the devastating clash and remain standing after such a fierce exchange. As the haze clears, Kai Xiaoling is revealed standing alone. Though battered and breathing heavily, she's still on her feet, declared the victor of the match. Just as the crowd assumes Kai Xiaoling has won, suddenly, Kai collapses from exhaustion. To everyone's shock, Liu Qingju remains standing calm. Despite facing an opponent with a royal bloodline and 9th stage cultivation, Liu Qingju defeated her using only martial technique. The crowd praises her as a once-in-a-century genius. The Top 8 Advancement Draw Ceremony, where the final contenders will be matched for the upcoming battles. Lin Zi is up next for the draw in the Top 8 Advancement Tournament. He draws Group A. Shen Guan, a muscular student from Qingfeng Private High, reveals he is also in Group A and will face Yi He. Shen Guan suggests watching the first match before their own, setting the stage for the upcoming fight between Luo Roman 11 and Chu Zhu. Luo Roman 11 is strong and repeated a grade to get into Huadu University. His bloodline control is highly polished, but against Chu Zhu, he didn't stand a chance. Chu Zhu is also from Luo Sai's school, Ancheng First Senior High, surprising some. Chu Zhu wins the match. The principal of Qingfeng Private High expresses frustration about losing right at the gate. Lin Zi asks Shen Guan how Luo Roman 11 compares to him. Shen Guan introduces himself as the martial arts club president at Qingfeng Private High's senior year level. He says his two teammates combined couldn't take him down. He admits Lin Zi might be the only real threat in this year's exams. He thinks about how his senses have been sharp since childhood. He compares himself to a dormant volcano with a beast inside. Shen Guan says it's their turn now. The second match of the Top 8 Advancement Tournament begins. Shen Guan from Qingfeng Private High faces Lin Zi from Ancheng First Senior High. The tournament for the top 8 spots in Nan City's college entrance exam is underway. The battle between Lin Zi and Shen Guan erupts with powerful energy bursts, shaking the arena as both contenders unleash their strength. Spectators react in shock as the fight intensifies. Shen Guan notices Lin Zi's nosebleed and mocks him, sarcastically questioning if it's a special trait from his bloodline. Shen Guan activates his martial energy to form a powerful barrier around his body, effectively shielding himself from harmful radiation as he prepares to strike. Lin Zi watches with glowing eyes, impressed by Shen Guan's technique. He acknowledges the opponent's power, realizing this battle won't be easy. Shen Guan launches a ferocious attack, his fists blazing with energy as he unleashes a devastating technique. With overwhelming force, Shen Guan roars the name of his move, Deer Peak, as he brings his full strength down on Lin Zi in a fiery explosion of martial might. Lin Zi reacts swiftly, but Shen Guan's strike is incredibly fast, catching him off guard. With explosive force, Shen Guan's Deer Peak lands directly, and Lin Zi takes a heavy blow. Blood spurts from Lin Zi's mouth as the impact connects. This is the first time he's ever been hit so hard. The crowd is stunned, witnessing how truly powerful his shape will fist technique is. Shen Guan charges forward with a ferocious technique called Bear Crash, his aura roaring like a beast as he traps Lin Zi in his assault. The blow lands violently, the shockwaves tear through the arena, stunning the audience with Shen Guan's overwhelming might. Lin Zi realizes Shen Guan's attacks are more than just brute force. He's using martial energy to deal internal damage, doubling the impact. Lin Zi braces himself, knowing this opponent is unlike anyone he's faced before. Lin Zi steadies his stance, surrounded by spiraling energy. Shen Guan overpowers Lin Zi in a crushing hold. He reveals his terrifying ability. Not only can he inject martial energy into himself, but he can also lock his opponent's martial energy, preventing them from using any techniques. Lin Zi is thrown with immense force, crashing across the arena floor. Shen Guan unleashes a new beast technique. With explosive might, Shen Guan launches into a deadly aerial strike called Tiger Pounce. Shen Guan unleashes another beast form attack, Eagle Dive, plunging toward Lin Zi with explosive force. Despite his injuries, Lin Zi braces himself. Shen Guan taunts him, confidently declaring that he stands no chance of victory. The ground erupts from the impact of Shen Guan's relentless assault, engulfing Lin Zi in a pillar of destruction. Laughing, Shen Guan expresses satisfaction from the fight. Lin Zi lies defeated beneath the dust, having endured a brutal series of attacks without any chance to strike back. Medical staff rush toward the arena, anticipating serious injury. Shen Guan's shape-will fist combination was powerful enough to kill an average martial artist. Dust fills the air, and the crowd holds its breath. Within the storm of shattered debris and crackling blue energy, a silhouette with glowing eyes rises. Lin Zi, now transformed, steps forward with clawed feet and a body radiating immense power. Lightning crackles around Lin Zi's new form, an awe-inspiring transformation resembling a magical beast. Spectators stare in disbelief. One realizes this isn't just martial strength, it's the embodiment of a magical beast, a rare and terrifying bloodline ability. The shocked observer explains that students who can awaken this form are granted entrance into Huadu University without needing to take the exam, confirming that Lin Zi is a true bloodline genius. Lin Zi's transformation into a magical beast form stuns everyone. His bloodline power radiates so strongly that even Shen Guan is taken aback by the overwhelming energy. In the control room, an elder examiner is alerted. All examiners are equipped with devices to monitor various conditions, and they begin to detect anomalies. The readings show an extreme spike. Nuclear radiation has skyrocketed to dangerous levels, shocking the staff monitoring the situation. The examiners quickly react by deploying a martial energy barrier around the arena to contain the radiation and prevent a disastrous nuclear leak triggered by Lin Zi's awakened power. The audience watches in awe, wondering about the identity of the magical beast Lin Zi has awakened. Some confirm it's a rare bloodline, while others are amazed such a powerful creature is unknown. Lin Zi suspects that no known creature on Blue Star matches Shen Guan's current form. Blood trickles from Shen Guan's nose again. He realizes that Lin Zi's energy has bypassed his martial shield, and he won't be able to keep fighting for long. As Shen Guan's powers up, his transformation surges again. The crowd identifies it as a third-order king bloodline, leaving no doubt this year's college entrance exam has drawn top-tier monsters. The clash erupts as both martial artists unleash their strongest techniques. A devastating blow, named Mountain Split, cuts through the arena like lightning, overwhelming Shen Guan's defenses. Shen Guan stands bloodied, his arm torn and useless. He admits the truth, his earlier confidence was misplaced. Lin Zi descends slowly in his awakened beast form, facing a broken Shen Guan. He calmly acknowledges his strength, but declares that despite his efforts, the outcome is already decided. The second match of the top 8 unfolds with intensity as Lin Zi, a third-order king bloodline user, stands face-to-face with Shen Guan. Onlookers marvel at the rare appearance of such a powerful, unknown magical beast bloodline. Shen Guan reflects on the overwhelming pressure. Since Lin Zi's bloodline awakening, Shen Guan can no longer suppress his opponent's martial energy. Forced into a corner, he decides to retreat temporarily to survive. But Lin Zi doesn't let up. He dives in with ferocious speed, shouting a warning, ensuring Shen Guan has no time to gather himself. Before Shen Guan can respond, Lin Zi strikes relentlessly, his glowing claws tearing through with unstoppable momentum. Shen Guan counters with Form Will Fist, Snake Strike, launching a swift and deadly golden serpent-shaped attack aimed directly at Lin Zi. The attack coils toward Lin Zi with precision. Shen Guan closes in, realizing Lin Zi won't be moved by brute force. He shifts his strategy mid-attack, aiming to get behind Lin Zi for a positional advantage. Shen Guan attempts a powerful stomp, aiming to crush Lin Zi with sheer force. The stomp lands violently, creating a massive explosion across the arena floor. Dust and debris fly in every direction from the impact. Shen Guan leaps back, but his eyes widen in disbelief. His attack had no effect. Standing tall, Lin Zi crosses his arms, surrounded by crackling energy. He steps forward, cracking the ground beneath him. He declares that it's his turn now. A surge of blue energy explodes around him as he launches a fierce counterattack, his power now fully unleashed. With one clean strike, Lin Zi closes the gap and stops right in front of Shen Guan, who is too stunned to react. Unable to continue, Shen Guan drops to his knees and concedes defeat, calling out, "Big brother Lin Zi, I surrender." Lin Zi's yelling that he was finally ready to fight, but Shen Guan's sudden surrender ruined the moment. Reluctantly, the beast begins to withdraw. Lin Zi sighs and decides to let it go, knowing there's no point in continuing. He exhales deeply, saying that holding back so much energy feels uncomfortable, but he has no choice. As Lin Zi returns to his normal form, he reminds himself of the rules. Once an opponent surrenders, any further attack is forbidden. The match concludes with Lin Zi from N-City's #1 middle school declared the winner. The crowd erupts in cheers, chanting his name and celebrating his overwhelming victory. Online reactions flood in. Fans mock Shen Guan with memes before the match. He was confident. After, he's shown collapsed in defeat, pleading for forgiveness. Clips of Lin Zi's fight go viral. Fan groups fill up rapidly, and his popularity skyrockets. Viewers hail him as the top scorer of the college entrance examination. Back at the Kingfeng Private High Leadership booth, the chairman fumes. Though Liu Roman 11 lost, his final hope had been Shen Guan. After the loss, Shen Guan is scolded by the school chairman, who rants about the money spent on his training and threatens to cut off his future unless he repays the debt. Shen Guan stops the chairman with a firm grip, warning him not to push further. The chairman freezes in fear. Shen Guan calmly explains that he surrendered to avoid serious injury. He asks if the chairman would have taken the hit for him. He promises to repay the school's kindness, but warns not to threaten someone stronger than oneself. Beads of sweat run down the chairman's face as he nervously backs down, finally agreeing Shen Guan does have a point. The top 4 contenders for this year's college entrance exam are revealed: Lin Zi, Liu Qingzhu, Chu Zhu, and one unidentified participant. The crowd celebrates Lin Zi's dominance, and his school leadership praises their long-serving staff, seeing this as a moment of pride. The semi-final draw ceremony begins, and excitement fills the air. Everyone watches closely to see who will face whom. Lin Zi draws his number and sighs once again. He's picked first, hinting at his consistent luck or misfortune of being the early fighter. Across from him, Liu Qingzhu also draws the first slot. The semi-finals begin with a thrilling match, Lin Zi versus Liu Qingzhu. Excitement surges through the crowd as fans root for their favorites in this highly anticipated showdown. Liu Qingzhu unveils her mysterious purple aura, revealing mastery over powerful martial arts. Spectators speculate she has a high-level bloodline, raising her chances of victory. Lin Zi responds with a towering blue beast manifestation, his aura unleashing intense pressure. Though his full strength hasn't been revealed yet, many believe it surpasses even the previous round. In the college entrance exam semifinals, the semifinal match is about to begin. Lin Zi and Liu Qingzhu from N-City's #1 middle school step onto the stage. The referee signals the start of the match. In a sudden explosion of energy, Lin Zi charges forward, launching a swift and aggressive attack aimed directly at Liu Qingzhu. Liu Qingzhu reacts with grace, amidst the cloud of dust and impact force. Lin Zi releases a dense cloud of steam, shrouding the entire arena in mist and obscuring the view. She calmly stating that she hopes Lin Zi is strong enough to face her. The audience is confused and on edge. They can't see the fight and begin to question what's really happening behind the smoke. The commentator speculates aloud: has Lin Zi awakened a new level of his bloodline? The match just began, but the intensity has already skyrocketed. Lin Zi assesses the situation, despite the thick fog. He recognizes Liu Qingzhu's presence and acknowledges her martial arts skills far surpass his own. His strength alone won't be enough to injure her. He quickly realizes that prolonging the fight will only place him at a disadvantage against someone with such refined techniques. Determined, he decides to go all out from the very beginning. With explosive energy, Lin Zi unleashes his powerful move, Mountain Arresting Fist, charging with full force to try and break her defense. She activates her magical martial arts technique, ready to defend and counterattack with precision. Lin Zi charges forward with intense force, eyes glowing as he unleashes a powerful strike toward Liu Qingju. But instead of fists, he unexpectedly uses his steel tail, catching Liu Qingju off guard. Liu Qingju reacts midair, stunned by the sudden switch in technique. She realizes too late he misled her by shouting a different move. Behind Lin Zi, the fierce aura of his awakened beast bloodline roars to life. Lin Zi launches a surprise airborne punch aimed directly at Liu Qingju's side. Spectators accuse him of fighting dishonorably, while Liu tries to regain composure, but her rhythm has already been broken. Lin Zi continues pressing the attack with unrelenting pace. Liu struggles to defend as she's forced into a retreat, unable to find an opening. Just in time, Liu uses her water energy to smartly deflect the incoming blow, flipping midair and barely escaping his grip. He closes the distance with clawed hands, empowered by martial energy, vowing that Liu Qingju won't escape him this time. He dives in with a spinning strike, unleashing a massive arc of energy aimed to cut off her retreat. Liu's eyes widen as she instantly senses the deadly force behind the incoming blow. Those claws are no ordinary attack. Despite her effort to dodge, the force sends her flying backwards, crashing hard into the arena floor. She launches a magical blast at Lin Zi, trying to create space between them. Lin Zi charges through the blast unharmed, shouting at her not to run away, fists glowing with martial energy. He unleashes a rapid flurry of strikes from above, overwhelming Liu with a relentless assault. Liu braces herself behind a defensive technique, thinking to herself that even though she's using the floating shadow secret art, his physical endurance and pressure, Liu Qingju recalls her two secret arts, floating shadow for defense and Hunyuan jade finger for offense. She knows either could help, but Lin Zi's assault is relentless. Despite trying to defend, Liu struggles to keep her footing under Lin Zi's rapid attacks. She realizes she's at risk of being knocked off the stage. Determined, she accepts she has no other option left, her eyes narrow with resolve. Liu activates her offensive secret art, Hunyuan jade finger, as Lin Zi notices the change in her aura. Liu Qingju clenches a glowing amulet, realizing she has no choice left. She prepares to use her final trump card. She activates her ultimate technique, Bloodline Awakening, Netherbird, as purple feathers surge from the artifact. Energy explodes as massive wings unfurl from her back, stunning Lin Zi, who watches from below. Liu Qingju ascends midair, transformed and radiant. It's the first time anyone has witnessed her mythical Netherbird bloodline in action. She warns Lin Zi that she can't control her strength in her awakened form, her eyes glowing with immense power. Lin Zi smirks, saying it's fine until now, he was only using half his strength. Now, he's ready to go all out. Just as Lin Zi makes his move, someone shouts a warning. He reacts instantly to an attack from behind. Liu Qingju strikes with mysterious royal martial art, Hunyuan jade finger, releasing a devastating energy blast. He launches his ultimate technique, Atomic Blast Fist, his expression wild with intensity. The clash creates a colossal shockwave as both powers collide mid-air, shaking the entire arena. Spectators struggle to keep their eyes open, overwhelmed by the impact and brilliance of the blast. Liu Qingju, now fully awakened with her wings spread wide, is forcefully blown back by the explosion. Liu Qingju stares wide-eyed, stunned by Lin Zi's overwhelming transformation and surging power. Lin Zi releases a massive burst of electric energy, cracking the stage beneath him and shocking everyone watching. His monstrous aura intensifies, glowing eyes, sharp teeth, and deadly resolve cover his entire expression. During the first semifinal of the college entrance exam, a sudden burst of lightning energy explodes from the center of the stage, tearing through the floor. She quickly realizes the situation is getting out of control. Surrounded by fierce blue energy, Lin Zi's body radiates with power. Dark silhouettes rise behind him, and the sheer force of his transformation sends cracks through the ground. Massive crystalline spines protrude from his back, pulsing with stored energy. Lightning crackles fiercely as the power concentrates at his mouth, bit by bit, preparing for release. With a roar, Lin Zi unleashes a devastating energy beam. His entire form glows violently, engulfed in streaks of lightning and flame energy. Liu Qingju braces herself as the blast crashes against her. Her wings flare outward, and her body glows with radiant energy. As the overwhelming blast from Lin Zi approaches, Liu Qingju's eyes shine with a powerful glow. Her silhouette radiates with brilliant energy as she channels her newfound strength. The attack is redirected in a stunning counter. Her ability, Feather Deflection, activates just in time. Lin Zi's breath attack fails to land, shocked observers realizing it was repelled by the power awakened in Liu Qingzhu's feathers. Shocked by the sudden explosion, they instinctively raise their hands in fear and brace for impact. A protective golden barrier instantly activates around the arena, shielding the crowd. The arena shakes as multiple impact points glow with concentrated bursts of power. Explosions ripple through the shield as the deflected energy disperses across its surface. Bathed in golden light, An City's mayor, Huang Qing, makes his entrance with a calm yet presence. He declares this battle will mark the birth of the city's strongest champion. The crowd bursts into cheers, relieved and grateful. The commentators confirm that Mayor Huang's intervention saved everyone from harm, reinforcing his strength. However, on the battlefield, drops of blood begin to fall. Liu Qingzhu stands battered and bloodied, her wings torn and body trembling. She reflects on how her powerful defensive ability was shattered in one strike. Doubt creeps in as she questions whether she can truly stand a chance against Lin Zi's overwhelming force. Echoes from the past resurface, ancestral voices reminding her that she carries the hopes of the Liu family. Generations of expectations weigh on her shoulders, urging her not to fail. A haunting memory of her mother appears, reminding her of the sacrifices made for the family's revival. Faced with duty and personal doubt, Liu Qingzhu silently wrestles with whether she can rise to meet everyone's expectations. Liu Qingzhu recalls her mother's harsh words, reminding her that winning isn't just for today, it's a lifelong duty. Exhaustion creeps in as she quietly admits how tired she is. She looks up at him, she realizes just how powerful he truly is compared to her current state. For a fleeting moment, doubt consumes her. She tries to convince herself that it's natural to lose against someone so strong. But deep down, she knows this is her turning point. Gathering the last of her strength, Liu Qingzhu charges forward in a final desperate move. Her body is wrapped in a dark purple aura as she pushes herself beyond her limits, aiming straight at Lin Zi. Her attack lands cleanly, striking his chest directly. Lin Zi takes the hit without even trying to dodge. Shocked and confused, she asks why he didn't evade the strike. Lin Zi gazes at her calmly and questions where her fighting spirit has gone. Liu Qingzhu is stunned as she locks eyes with Lin Zi. Lin Zi questions whether she's ever truly looked at him as an opponent. He demanding her acknowledgement not just of the battle but of him. Clenching his fist, his energy surges wildly. He declares his resolve to win not through pity, but by earning victory with his own strength. Liu Qingzhu stares at him in silence, her violet eyes wide. He strikes Liu Qingzhu head-on, pinning her to the ground with force that shakes the arena. As energy radiates from his hand, he tells her to stop holding back. He keeps pushing her with repeated attacks, demanding if she's ready to take the fight seriously. Liu Qingzhu shields her face and shouts back. She never intended to keep fighting, she had already accepted defeat. But Lin Zi doesn't ease up. He throws one more blast, shouting that she shouldn't expect mercy just because she gave up. With a smirk, he declares that this is the response he wanted. If she doesn't want to be hit again, then she'd better get serious. Liu Qingzhu finally unleashes the true form of her magical beast. With radiant wings bursting from her back, she soars high above the arena. Lin Zi welcomes the challenge, noting that the real battle is finally about to begin. Not holding back anymore, Lin Zi activates his own ultimate skill. His body becomes cloaked in dark blue armor and glowing with terrifying power. This transformation is called the Nuclear Light Combat Body, a fusion of the Demira template and hard Qigong. Lin Zi, now fully transformed with blue flames swirling around him, charges into battle. Liu Qingzhu silently spreads her glowing pink wings, preparing to meet his charge. Their powers collide in a dazzling spiral of energy. Lightning and flame twist together into a massive vortex. Within the blinding clash, Lin Zi dives straight into the eye of the storm. Lin Zi fully engulfed in swirling blue energy. His entire body is cloaked in explosive force, ready to unleash his full power. Liu Qingzhu gathers energy at her fingertips and channels it through her wings. With a fierce cry, she releases a massive pulse of radiant energy in the form of a circular shockwave. Lin Zi rushes straight into the beam's path, his body colliding with the blinding force. Lin Zi lets out a powerful roar as his energy explodes outward. He mocks the intensity of Liu Qingzhu's scream, refusing to be outdone. His back spikes surge with energy once again. She recognizes the tactic one she's seen before, but this time, she's ready. Letting go of her defense, she channels all her power into the Liu family's strongest technique, aiming to end it once and for all. Liu Qingzhu unleashes a blinding surge of violet lightning, her body surrounded by violent waves of power. A thunderous clash follows as both powers collide. Liu Qingzhu activates her hidden trump card, her bloodline ability. A massive energy construct forms above her, glowing with divine might. Lin Zi's atomic breath and Liu Qingzhu's netherworld bloodthorn collide in a catastrophic explosion. The commentator shouts that the scale of this impact has surpassed what either of them can control. Mayor Huang Qing narrows his eyes and quietly activates an emergency countermeasure. He uses a forbidden level gene technique. A massive divine structure slams into the ground, creating the divine leyline wall. It stabilizes the battlefield just in time, shielding the audience from the devastating energy overflow. The final clash between Lin Zi and Liu Qingzhu explodes into a burst of color and lightning, shattering the surroundings. Spectators shield themselves in awe, realizing how powerful the collision truly was. Many wonder if the sudden barrier was created by the mayor to stop the shockwave. Smoke and debris cloud the field, with stunned viewers acknowledging that without the mayor's swift response, the audience might have suffered serious casualties. Mayor Huang Qing stands silently, his face tense. He admits the divine leyline walls were activated in haste and weaker than usual. Even so, he reflects on the rare talent of both students, never expecting two such strong contenders in one exam. Liu Qingzhu's hand trembles, dripping blood onto the ground. She kneels in the rubble, clutching her side. The power from her magical beast's true form has completely faded, leaving her physically drained and barely able to stand. Despite the pain, she clenches her jaw and refuses to surrender. Suddenly, a heavy step echoes across the battlefield. Liu Qingzhu looks up in disbelief as Lin Zi steps out of the smoke. He calmly warns her that if she doesn't purge the nuclear radiation now circulating in her body, it could leave her permanently crippled. Liu Qingzhu lowers her gaze, unsure of what to say. Tears fill her eyes as she finally speaks her heart. She never wanted to fight this hard in the first place. She questions why Lin Zi kept pushing her to such extremes. Lin Zi crouches in front of Liu Qingzhu, not as an opponent, but as someone seeking honesty. Calmly, he asks if she truly doesn't want to fight, or if she's just denying her competitive nature. He explains that during their battle, he sensed her will to win. Her attacks weren't passive. They were fierce and driven by a real desire to overcome him. For a moment, she remembers her emotions during the fight and realizes he's right, she had wanted to defeat him. Flashbacks flood her mind. She had let go of her defense and used everything she had. Conflicted, she questions why she feels this way, hating combat, yet unconsciously striving for victory. Liu Qingzhu reflects on the battle and admits that, in the midst of it, she felt something unexpected, the thrill of fighting for herself. She blushes slightly, embarrassed by the realization. Lin Zi calmly points out that her mind was filled with too many distractions during the match. She lacked focus, and that's what cost her the victory. Liu Qingzhu looks down at her arm in surprise. The radiation and injuries are gone, he had healed her. Lin Zi turns and calmly acknowledges Liu Qingzhu, telling her she's the strongest opponent he's ever faced. With a soft smile, he adds that if there's another chance, he'd like to fight her again, not as rivals, but in a true battle of equals. Liu Qingzhu stares at him in surprise, her eyes wide and cheeks flushed. As the dust settles, Lin Zi stands alone in the center of the arena. The crowd watches in stunned silence as it's confirmed he's the one still standing after the clash. Representing An City's #1 middle school, Lin Zi has proven himself as a rising powerhouse, securing his place in the next round of the tournament.
This is the end of the video. If you guys want to see the next part, then don't forget to subscribe and like the video.